Hi, I'm kind of in a funny mood, so you're going to have to pardon me, but the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So I know with these words are going to touch Jonathan Kleck's heart. Hey, buddy, um, you might want to change your terminology as far as saying the Lord told you, with Christ's blood running through everybody's veins like that. It's a feeling. It's not like he's yelling in our ear, hey, Barb, go tell Johnny that he's wording things wrong for his own purpose and elevating himself above mankind. Okay, God, I'll go tell John that right now. Get my drift, you know? And here's another good line. And keep in mind, I just saw this man I saw him years and years ago, and I clicked on and clicked off, okay? Because when I can't learn something from somebody because I know more of the truth, then I don't listen because it makes me angry when I hear untruths. And I'm going to tell you what's untrue. Just give me a moment. I need to calm that Christ in my blood. Hey, Barb. Yeah. Um, I'm talking to you all the time. Yeah, I know. Could you be quiet a minute so I can think? Thank you. You know. So, um, the blood inside me, the Christ blood inside me, told me to be as kind as I possibly could to get the message across that nobody hears God speaking words at them like physical words. It's a feeling within ourselves and in our mind's eye, in our third eye. Um, it's our heart, it's our soul, it's that feeling that he talks to everybody all day long like that. If you can imagine that we're all connected, imagine one big body and we're a tiny cell. We're a cell of blood in God's body. He feels all of us in his veins like that. That's how it is. That's how he feels it. It's like a mother feeling that baby when she's pregnant. She knows that child by that feeling, not because the baby's in there yelling at it or that we're talking to it, because they feel us. We feel like that. That's how we're all connected. So when somebody's like scumbucket, you get that queasy little feeling, not anger. No, I'm talking that off feeling of some weirdo that would promote women being scuzzy when he's changing things to suit his own purpose, because any mother would tell you that there's no way in hell she would ever take a bite of an apple with not offering it to her spouse first. She just would do that. That would be a normal female. And I'm talking in the age of innocence. And you better believe that Satan is the only fault in this thing. It has nothing to do with Adam and Eve. Eve was raped, and that wasn't her name. And the child Cain killed Abel, and that was not their names either. But we'll just I'll be coming back with, see, I go back to Aramaic. Um, if you go to like a Syrian language, and that's why they want to take those people out, and you go back pre-Hebrew, Sanskrit, Egyptian, Ethiopian, those types of languages that have the truth in it, that they want to take those people of color out mostly because those are the ones with the knowledge. These tiny little villages and these people that know the word of God and know the English words, the translation, the proper translations, and why. And why the Baphomet? Why would Satan pose as half female and half male? Why? Because he's trying to hide within the ocean of mankind so he doesn't have to face the wrath of God. And everybody that he has enough blood in his from him in them, and they are catering to that reptilian part of their brain, that's how they're going to be guided by that. And that's that queasy, yucky feeling we get inside our instincts that are real. So I thought I'd get on here and actually just try and talk to you as people. Um, it's not that I want to see anybody labor with their hands for the rest of their lives or nothing like that. I mean, we all could share in the hard work and the easy stuff. That's not the thing. But when you're taking things and putting it out there to suit yourself, and things don't make common sense, it's not logical. Man on man, woman on woman, eunuchs, transgender, all this weird ass crap that Satan hides in. It's not the reality of life. It's not the way things are. And people will say, well, this animal or that animal, maybe they were dirtied in that gene pool like Satan did with that filth that makes them not quite right with the way things go in nature, you know? So if you think about it and you take like an apple tree and you clone it, it's going to be similar to the parent, but it isn't going to be as old. It will not be as smart. It won't have the fruit. It's a baby. Well, now we're talking about how Satan is that much far above like an older brother than anybody. Even the fallen angels are a part of him. That's his family that he cloned for himself to go against God. They already fell. If they're out there and they're telling people, oh, like fear that you're going to be put to death and all, it's a bunch of bullshit, is what I'm telling you. There's nothing to be afraid of. And these people can't hurt you. Even if they wrecked your skin, big damn deal. Do you know how powerful your soul is? If you were out of your body, what you could do to that thing that just annihilated you? Do you understand what power is? Or even like a Tesla coil? Or think about a starter in a motor, you know? And that's the thing about it too. I was thinking, because I am quite the mechanic, although I do prefer body work, and if I could choose any, well, I may go back to breaking horses or teaching that for people because that's a rare art. But if I could do anything, and it would be manual labor. Um, but we still have a body shop. We have income, and everything is laborious and thought intensive, that type of thing. But to make our world go around, we got to do what we got to do. I will get back to my point, but the parts of Satan, his Satan babies that are strong in that manipulation and narcissistic tactics like that are the ones that have to. You don't try, you either do it or you don't do it. There's no in between. And when you get that queasy feeling inside yourself, that's not God yelling in your ear, those numbers match your date of birth or whatever the hell you want to push out there. That's that feeling inside yourself that's teaching you right and wrong. That's the laws of God on your heart. The 10 Commandments, the 7 deadly sins, they're all written on our hearts, in our blood. That's how God talks to us. And don't pretend he doesn't. And don't lie to me. Don't lie to anybody else. I'm sick of it. It's a bunch of bullshit, and you know it. So I'm not saying that the Bible isn't beautiful and it can't be read many different interpretations. People say, well, it was written many ways for different people to understand. No, it's what you take out of it, the good or the bad. And you don't sit here and say that the first mother on this planet created trash, that she was going to kill or anything else, anybody or anything. That's bullshit. Won't you take a part of God and dirty it? Even Satan isn't that low. And he isn't, even though he fooled you to have you put that information out there. And I'm going to prove it with words. I'm going to show you what the difference between the knowledge of language and knowing exactly what the Tower of Babel symbolizes trying to reach God, trying to overtake that. But you see the crumble in it, how it fell? Get that. Get the English language is a mixture of everybody's languages all over the world. And having YouTube and having a platform that has, I have subs, I have few, but some of them speak Arabic and they know the truth and they read the King James too. They're multifaceted, but when they're of God, we don't have to say this is a religion here, this is a religion there, even though I was raised Christian. And if it wasn't so filthy now with all the changed scriptures and all the changed, you can't go and change a commandment like I'm married to somebody and then I'm not, and being the books where who's at fault, the woman, the man, whatever. And that takes me back to you, dirty Dave. God damn you. You don't take a part of God, his daughter, his first daughter, and say that she did something wrong. I'm going to prove the Masons changed that in the scriptures, and I have the spots to prove it. And this is without concordance. This is the English language, and the Bible is all you're going to need. I'll show you it. I will prove it to you. And yeah. So now I don't know if this is still about Johnny or not. And it don't matter. And I have a son named Jonathan. It's a beautiful name, by the way. But you know, I get heated about this shit because it's true. It's not even just the female thing, if that were the only thing. But being that it's the Baphomet type of terminology and it's demonology and it's taken the family out of the world little bit by little bit into chaos. Yeah, that's what they want. I'm not allowing it. Don't you ever, ever say again that any woman that had God in her heart, and don't tell me Eve didn't love God. Don't tell me that she wasn't raped. Don't tell me she didn't have twins, one of Adam's and one of Satan's. Don't you flip and tell me any more damn lies. Now I think I'm done. I'll prove this. I'm proving this with my words. And I know words very well. Not just my angry words. I'm going to prove them. One day or another, one way or another. I've been online since 1995 talking to Masons out east, in China, everywhere. Telling them, you either tell the truth here, I'm out here now. I was on government forums. I've been doing some stuff for a very many decades, not just recently to try and make money. I'm out here helping people get the truth of our history of our life out here. Stop playing your damn games. And if you dare say I don't have God in my heart, fry with your little soul. Or God bless it, whatever, if he can calm me down a little. Oh, yeah, Barb. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, do I have any numbers that'll correlate this? Maybe I do, damn it. I wrote down a few notes like asking for signs and symbols and books and crooks and scriptures are perfect. Who wrote a concordance and why? Because it correlates with the blue book and it correlates with the dictionary to use spellcraft and words. Wait. Damn that. Yeah, can't even think this stuff up. Can't even see. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm coming back with proof. Don't even try and dirty me or try and shame me or guilt me or bitch at me or trick me or mess with me in any manner, because I'm doing this out of love for everybody. Now I'm telling you, you can't can't even think this stuff up. Or it, how could you lie about it? You couldn't even lie about it. I heard him say stuff like that. What do you mean? Satan thought this whole thing up and it's all a big damn lie. What do you mean you can't even think this stuff up? Like hell, Satan will put two little ones somewhere on a flippin' napkin for you so you lose your silly little brain. Do it right, damn it. Stand up and do things like a man. Stop teaching people the wrong way so you can make money off them the easy damn way. You'd have an easier life if you did things right, obviously. I'm not new to this. I've been doing this my entire life. You think not? I can back my words. I have a lot of published words, too. So, and a lot of names. Well, I suppose you got a lot of names for me, too. Well, that's okay. You go right ahead. I have a few for you, too. Boy. How's that? Now I feel better. I do. Yeah. Like I said, you can call me anything. You can say anything you want to say. Isn't going to change the facts that I can prove this stuff with the English language. Prove it. Not with signs and miracles and wonders that God gives us as proof because we're unfaithful people. Can't just have faith and know that when you were helped, He helped you know, and know who helped you. Not asking for the greedy things and then getting that type of help. And yeah, that thing does talk loud. It usually talks loud through people saying, hey, do this. That'll trick them. Or hey, if you put out a post that's kind of half nice but kind of not, then they're going to think you're nice or they won't be able to prove it anyway. Well, God proves it. He proves it in His people. The 144,000 can see right in your soul and dig it out, wash it up, and stick it back in. That's what we do. And everybody's different. Everybody has to learn a different way, don't we? But you know what you learn? That there really is a God, and that's who's helping you. That's who's even going to help Satan, his first angel. Not human. He was so jealous. When he was already steps ahead, he didn't realize it. That's what happened. Feeling that part of him inside you, and everybody in this world has that at this point to a certain degree. So if you're in touch with both sides and you can say, hey, I recognize this. I can help you fix this. I can either help you fix this or I will torture the F out of your ass because you know you're not doing things right. I can either help you or hurt you. And that part is up to you. And God is my strength. I will show you that. I'll show you my love and I'll show you my strength. It's kind of like a package deal, You can word things different and carry on. Do it right. Clear up that male and female bullshit. Talk about the he said, she said bullshit. Gonna leave you with a fat lip. You ever heard that song? Well, anyway, I was thinking, when you feel Christ talking to you, you might want to word it a little different so other people can get in touch with their soul in the soul of the divine spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, which is that part of Satan, that part of Christ, and that part of God inside all of us, brought through Eve onto this planet. So God would have somebody on His level to be a companion. And that's the bottom line. If everybody's so selfish that you don't see that and you don't care about that, we're not just His children. And Satan wasn't just a puppet or a tool. This was important social feeling for every, then you won't feel that tingly, out of place situation. You can be your own. You don't have to be a part of that icky, like sleeping in everybody's bed. Like, shouldn't your soul be private? Um, you don't have a private feeling, and you don't give off that aura of being private in a clean manner when you're walking on the wild side, walking when you're on the fence. You can't have it. It doesn't go both ways. You can sense the other side. You can play upon that and you can act like that. And the practices of Satan, of course, he's not going to come all red and horned and whatnot, is he? But people do look like that when it's kind of like, yeah, they live that show where the 144,000 can just see that under your mask. We see you. Now, the nice ones of us are trying to help. The other ones that are closer to the icky side will do or say something cruel that's off or icky, and then the other ones that aren't icky will just see whatever is done and it's realized at that moment. It's not like anybody's hiding anything from anybody. It's not that if you have a fellowship and the church age ended in heaven, if you don't know that, and people shouldn't be making money off of any ministries. Yeah, Jesus flipped them tables over, didn't he? Yeah. Why did he do that? You remember? Yeah. You know. He hated the money lenders, the money exchangers. He hated money. That's Satan's tool. Yes, it is. But folding up a dollar bill and showing whatever, because you can show the flood too if you put the two towers together, you know, and it shows the flood coming over the wall in New York City. It's, anybody that's been out on the web for a long time should know all these things. And there'll be newbies, there'll be people like, oh, you should read this and you should do that, or you don't know what you're talking about. Well, listen to my videos. Some of them you may not like, but most of them you can't tell what they are just because of the titles. Yeah, tires. I literally do have tires on my mind today. There's two of them sitting out in my front yard waiting to go somewhere with the rear end for somebody. It's funny. But yeah, you can't tell by the titles what it's going to be, all of it. How could I possibly, you know? And I do have a plethora of information, you know, a long time at this, telling the truth for everybody and learning how to be strong for that reason. So, that's why, and I know now I was put out, shoved out on stage. I was all kinds of shit in my life, and like, okay, one of the worst experiences. I loved being in choir, but was like taking my flute and playing in front of the whole church. I played Scarborough Fair, which then studying darker stuff, not being darker, but studying darker at that stuff at that time, the whole church didn't even understand, except for some of the elders, what Scarborough Fair was all about. What a beautiful song. Not as beautiful as you would think. Look it up. So, anyway, that was frightening to me. But I had already been out in public like that a whole bunch, like even as a baby. So it was like, I know now that that guy that raised me made me strong like that. And then when they took me inside the lodge and started teaching me all those things and the things that I went through to get to rights at this point, that's what I'm talking about. So I can't be easily played with. I mean, all you can do is irritate me. That's about as best you can do. It's like brushing a fly off, and I'll guarantee you, my mouth and the words that God gives me, He doesn't whisper them in my ear or tap me on the shoulder. It's a feeling I get in my heart or my soul. The words that come out of my mouth towards you, like that sword He gave me, that double-edged sword, will slay you. So bring it on. Whatever you want to do. I can either be your friend, I can be strong for you and with you, but I'm not going to play with nobody. I do not play. And I don't play well if you try. Unless it's board games or sports or something like that, I'll still beat your ass. But, I don't really play, you know. So, was that a challenge? Yeah, it was, because I heard somebody say he'd like to get somebody in the ring. Who needs a ring, buddy? Let's just take it outside, you know. Wouldn't want to mess up the house, right? No matter. And by the way, all my relatives, all my exes live in Texas. Well, one of them does, but um, although I've been in a successful, somewhat rocky marriage relationship for over 30 years now, but and another long-term one before that. But that's, some of you know my story, some of you don't. Yeah. Married on the 4th of July because I'm Ms. Independent. Yeah. When there's a lot more to that too, but I really don't claim him as a spouse because he is my opposition, but you got to get close enough to the enemy to make him feel something sometimes, if it helps at all, you know. And God puts people, strong people, in some sticky situations sometimes. But hey, Jonathan, don't go challenging people. I got family down there. I could be there in a heartbeat. I guarantee you, first you'd like me. You may think you wouldn't, but if you did want to fight, I would so hurt you, little boy. I'm a martial artist of many different fields. Many. Not just, I'm talking master, master, master with my mind and my body. Oh, yeah, I could go jumping out of a plane. Always wanted to. Kind of thought about it. My cousin does. And I always said my one cousin drives the plane. Well, a couple of them do. But my one cousin drives the plane and his sister jumps out of it. And I had thought about it, but I do other things. You know, I do a lot. Any sport, just about. But I'd rather go swimming with you and dunk your ass. You know what a dog does to a raccoon? Climb up to the top of their head and they sink them in the water. I think it's just a Minnesota thing, maybe, that gets me like feisty like that. No. I have my youngest son said he likes being feisty. It keeps his adrenaline up. Well, if you do have the good, it's a butylatin. If you don't have too many, they're called lectins. They're the wrong kind of icky things on different things that you can eat, like tomato and eggplant and red bell peppers. And most legumes have lectins, are sharp things that can actually hurt your gut intestine. And I do go by the Mayo Clinic food allergy test I went by, and my list is massive. And I think a lot to myself. The things that I'm allergic to, other people were. And then they just did this study, this nutritionalist, he's also a heart expert over 40 years. He was talking about the lectins in these different types of fruits and vegetables that we didn't used to have in our diet that we do now. Well, see, there's certain things I knew too, like it takes, like if you go into the biology of animals and the 2% milk is really, really bad for a small animal or a dog or a cat because it creates too much sugar too fastly. So you're either give them skim or 1% or whole milk because then it will go through their system like it should as a food instead of turning into a sugar, that type of thing. Well, the same goes with the human body and too much sugar and so many vegetables that I can't have, which really freaked me out when I found out growing asparagus from seeds, having them in the house for 3 years, and now they're like 8 years old out in my garden, and I'm allergic to it, But growing these babies and different things that I love, like peas and beans, and I'm not supposed to have, that type of. So it was, and I really do think the things because I'm like hypersensitive to this whole world, especially the bad stuff in it. Hyper vigilant too. So I always thought if it bothers me, maybe I'm a precursor. Yeah, get it? Haha. um, indicator for people. So, and I do love y'all, and I'm out here to help, believe it or not. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota. God bless your day or night, wherever you're at. Change your language, Jonathan Kleck.